What is going on, guys? Money Webby here, back again on Monday. Got a nice 9-game slate for you here tonight, and I got it broken down for you with 6 of my favorite plays on the slate, my money 6. So before we get going, slap a like in the video if you're ready to win some money here tonight. 100 plus likes would be greatly appreciated. I apologize for no videos over the last few days. I had a little sinus sickness, so I wasn't really able to I was able to talk, but it just felt like my whole head was congested, so I really didn't have that same ability to record videos and kind of have that research and grind out process where I was just trying to recover from that. But I'm feeling good now. You're ready to win some money, so let's hop right into it. First guy up, I'm going to go with Paul George here, going against Portland. This should be a high-scoring, very competitive game here, and Paul George has been absolutely on a tear recently. 68, 48, 60, 53, 67, 57. Just having huge performances every time out. The last time they played Portland, he had 64 DraftKings points, 36 points, 8 rebounds, and he did get 5 steals. So that's really a thing that's been adding to his upside, is his ability to get 2 to 3 steals a game. And this is a good matchup going against Portland. They do struggle against forwards a little bit more compared to the guards. And also with Grant out in this game, the Thunder's power forward, that could open up some more rebounds for a guy like Paul George. They could go a little bit smaller with Schroeder and Russ at the 2 guards. And then on Paul George, maybe play a little bit more forward in this game and have that ability to get a double-double with his rebounds like he got last game. And he's going to be playing a ton of minutes. Like I said, with Grant being out, he could get 40 minutes again here in this game. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there. I think he's good for 50 to 60 DraftKings points in that game. I'm going to go with Blake Griffin here at 9,000 going against Washington. They really don't have a guy at power forward on this Washington team that I think can handle Blake Griffin. They're going to be starting Jeff Green if he plays. But if he doesn't play, then Jabari Parker will probably have to start. And he's not very good defensively. Both those guys a little bit lackluster, more of offensive pieces. And then Bobby Portis, the same thing kind of goes for him. He's probably the best out of the bunch defensively, but that's not saying much. I think Blake Griffin can score at ease on all those guys, have a very big game. That when the games have been close to them recently, he's gotten 47 and 47 DraftKings points, 49 against Dallas. He's getting good minutes and has really good upside. I mean, he's averaging 48 DraftKings points in the 2 games against his team. That's right over 5 times value. I think he can honestly get to 50 DraftKings points in this game if it does stay close. Pretty good over-under, and Vegas is expecting it to be a tight game. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my second guy. For my third guy, I'm going to go with CJ McCollum here at 7,000. This is definitely a good game to stack. I think McCollum is another guy that has a really good matchup here, and he's been on a nice tear. He is kind of a streaky shooter, but when the shot is dropping, he has really good upside. So 55, 46, 41, 61, and 4 out of the last 4 games. Huge upside at his price tag at 7,100. Another guy getting good minutes, and his usage rate has been up a little bit. I mean, he's shooting 20 plus times in 3 of those 4 games. And going against his Portland team, not Portland, going against OKC, he did have 23 shots in the same matchup, and he was good for 42 DraftKings points. In that game, it's not like he had many helper stats. He had 3 and 3. He is able to put up a few more than that, even though he's not known for. I think he honestly could get 5 and 5 there, and also be able to score pretty well. Russell Westbrook has been very good defensively this year, so maybe he limits Damian Lillard a little bit, and McCollum kind of takes a little bit more of the load here. Offensively, it's really been the Lillard and McCollum show recently. I think it could easily be that again here going against OKC. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my third guy. Then I'm going to go at, actually I want to put McCollum at shooting guard. A little bit annoying that he wanted to go in at point guard, but 7,100. Put him in at point guard. Then we're going to go with Dennis Smith Jr. here at point guard, 6,400. I mentioned him the first time he played Detroit the other day. I had 40 minutes in that game, 39 DraftKings points, had a really good game there, and he did the same thing again against Detroit for 48 DraftKings points and 35 minutes. So his usage rate has been pretty solid. I mean, he's getting good run with 35 and 40 minutes. He did struggle against a good defensive team in Toronto. I'm not really surprised by that. But going against Cleveland, going against Colin Sexton. He's been one of the worst defensive point guards in the league this year. And I think Dennis Smith Jr. can really get to the rim in this game. Cleveland doesn't really have a rim protector, honestly. Kevin Love might play this game. He's not known for his rim defense. Larry Nance Jr., not really known for his rim defense. Like Zizek, really no one that I think can really make Dennis Smith Jr. afraid to attack the rim. And that's when he's at his best, when he can get those easy layups and then kind of mix in a few of his mid-range and three-point shots. So like he did against Detroit, I think he can attack the rim, have some high percentage shots, and also be able to get those assists based off his ability to score. So I think he honestly can get around 40 DraftKings points in this game. A game that should stay fairly close, where he'll get extra run and a really good matchup. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my fourth guy. Then I'm going to go with Dion Waiters. A little bit of a concern here because it is a back-to-back and he had 41 minutes last night. But with how the Miami Heat kind of got rid of some of the shooting guards like Tyler Johnson and Wayne Ellington, it really cleared out some more consistent minutes for Dion Waiters. I mean, he had 32 minutes the other night and then 41, like I said, last night. And he does have solid upside. I mean, this is not a bad matchup going against Denver, where he could get up to 30 minutes again here. It's a solid price tag. It's a guy that can score very well when he's on. Like, this is a guy that was averaging around like 17 points a game when he was healthy a few years ago. He definitely has the ability to score, and the Heat lineup does have a few guys that aren't really like guys that need the ball in their hands and they don't really score consistently. I mean, Winslow's a little bit up and down. Whiteside doesn't need the ball really to score. He just cleans up on the glass. Olynyk, the same thing. He's kind of just a stretch four that can sometimes get hot. But Dion Waiters, I think he's locked into a consistent role in this offense in the starting lineup. But like I said, back-to-back, they could get blown out against Denver here. That's my only real concern. And also, Waiters could see a few less minutes. But even if he gets like around 30 minutes, I think he can give us some solid value at 4,100. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my fifth guy. Then I'm going to go with Randall, the point guard for the Wizards. Some news has came out that he's actually going to be entering the starting lineup here tonight. Obviously, some risk with him as he's not really a proven commodity. He does kind of look like the Black Panther a little bit. Maybe that'll give him some extra ability, though, at the starting point guard for the Wizards. And he had a good game going against Chicago last time. He had 26 DraftKings points. He played pretty well. They must be pretty confident in him to get the promotion. I mean, he wasn't really doing that much where I would see, like, yeah, he definitely should enter in the starting lineup. I mean, he has had some big games. His fantasy points per minute hasn't been bad. 15 minutes a game, around 12 DraftKings points per game, so not too bad. And this is a solid matchup that Reggie Jackson, another guy that isn't great defensively, and Randall, he seems pretty active when he is out there with his minutes, so I feel like he can just do enough here. Get us around 25 DraftKings points, hopefully, at 3,300. The Wizards' point guard role is known for getting some DK points because Beal isn't really, he's like a shooting guard. He's not really as confident or comfortable with the ball in his hands a lot. So Randall should have the ball in his hands a little bit here, be a facilitator, score a little bit against Reggie Jackson in a game I think that should stay pretty competitive and high scoring, like I mentioned. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my final guy. But like I mentioned, definitely something to track are the injuries throughout the day. Jeff Green, like I mentioned, is questionable. If Jabari Parker gets to jump into the starting lineup, he did play very well last game and the first game for the Wizards, 42 and 39 DraftKings points. So I think he can be an interesting play with some extra run and ability in that matchup. Also, Bobby Portis, if he enters the starting lineup. So those are two guys to definitely look after if Jeff Green is out. But obviously, if any news breaks, I'll update you guys on Twitter at MoneyWebby. So if you enjoyed the video, though, slap a like on it. 100 plus likes means a lot, guys. Thank you. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. These videos will be coming your way every single day here, unless I get hit by another sickness. But we should be good to go from here on out. So good luck. I hope you win some money, and we'll see you back here again next time.